Your newborn baby may have been sleeping beautiful and they're in their swaddle. But between 4 and 6 months, they generally start rolling, and once your baby is rolling independently by themselves, it's time to unswaddle for their sleeps. So how do you do that? Today's video, I'm going to answer that question and give you our 2 methods of how to unswaddle. Hi, I'm Amanda, founder and co-creator of Little One Sleep Programs. I'm mother to 2 darling little girls and also a pediatric sleep specialist. At Little Ones, we sell comprehensive online sleep programs for babies right through to preschool age via our custom-built app. We also have our fantastic customer support village inside our app where our trained sleep consultants are there day and night to help you through any bumps in the road. Visit us at www.little-ones.co if you need any further help with your little one's sleep. And back to today's question, what are your tips on unswaddling? Tell me in the comments below how your baby went whilst unswaddling. I had 2 and they both were quite different. One loved her swaddle and would have stayed in it until she was a year old if she could have, and the other one, she loved her swaddle, but I did the quick method, which I'll go through later in this video, and it was done and dusted in just 3 days. So it does depend on your baby and your baby's temperament as to how they will unswaddle. So in this video I'll explain. We have 2 fantastic methods. One is a more gradual method and the other is a very quick method on getting rid of the swaddle. So you may have noticed around 4 to 6 months that your baby has started to roll independently. Now once this happens, you need to start getting rid of that swaddle for sleep, because they may find that they don't like sleeping in the position that you're putting them in, and they may roll around and just move generally like adults do during their sleep, and of course they can't be swaddled while they're doing this. So let's go through our first method called the gradual method. So the gradual method works on a day-by-day structure and by making sure that your baby is used to one step before moving on to the next step, and keeping the transition as gradual and as slow as possible. So the way that this method works is you take one arm out of the swaddle for your baby's morning nap first. Now you leave the 2 arms into the swaddle for all other naps and also overnight at this stage. So once your baby is used to one arm out, then you would move on to the next step. It may initially take a little while to get your baby used to having that one arm out, and especially on the first day, they may need a little bit of extra settling or extra help than what you usually give them, whether that's a little bit of side patting or just shush patting, anything like that. That's okay. Make sure though they do fall asleep by themselves after you get them drowsy, just to make sure that they are learning to still go to sleep by themselves independently. So once your baby has got used to one arm out for the morning nap, the next day you would move on to moving the one arm out to being the overnight sleep as well as the morning nap. Once they are used to the overnight sleep, you may notice that they do wake a few extra times during the night. Obviously you still feed them if they would usually be fed at that feed time, but the other times, if they're waking extra, you can just resettle them back to sleep. After a couple of days, you would then move on to the lunch nap. So keeping just still one arm out of the swaddle at the lunch nap, you'll probably find that especially on the first day, they wake up after one sleep cycle, unsure of this new sort of sleep environment, and then you can resettle them back to sleep as before, and moving through the nap, they should sleep the rest of the nap. Leave the last nap of the day until the very end at this stage. The third nap of the day between 4 and 6 months is always the hardest to get them to sleep. It's the nap they're dropping, that's very close to dinner time, they're hungry, tired from the day. So leave that one, and a good way to actually transition initially is by not even putting them in their swaddle for that nap and taking them for a drive in the car or in the pram or in the front pack for that nap, and just doing it a little bit different rather than having them in the swaddle for that third nap. So once your baby is sleeping the first and lunch nap and then overnight with one arm out, you basically do the exact same thing with both arms out. Now with both arms out, there is a lot of flailing around, and also even with one arm out, you can do this as well. If you're comfortable, you can give them a lovey or a cuddly to hold on to, just to give them something to hold on to and do something with their arms. They're not used to this newfound freedom, and you will notice a lot of flailing arms everywhere. If some babies find it really good to hold on to something, I know that my second did, she needed a cuddly to hold on to stop her arms moving around so much and help her settle. So you're on to now both arms out. The same as before, you start with both arms out at the morning nap. Once that's going well, you would move to overnight, and then once they're happy overnight and in that morning nap, you move to the lunch nap. Now last of all, once your baby is sleeping well, you then of course move to both arms out for the third nap of the day as well. As always, it's very important that you have a predictable nap structure prior to actually unswaddling. This will make things so much easier for you and your baby to know if things are getting disrupted because of being unswaddled, or if it is just something else going on, or if your baby isn't tired enough, or your baby might be getting sick or anything like that. It is definitely much easier to do both of these methods if your baby is in that predictable nap structure to start with. Okay, so moving on to our second method. This is called the quick method. So with the quick method, you basically go cold turkey on the swaddle for all naps. You'll probably find that day one is an absolute write-off. Your baby won't sleep well, they'll wake during their lunch nap, but day one and then a little bit of day two will be tricky. However, by day 3 and onwards, things become a lot easier. I did this with my second child. I spent 2 days at home just concentrating on her sleep, making sure that she was comfortable as she could be, gave her a cuddly to hold on to, and that helped with that transition. By day 3, it was like there was no swaddle to begin with. As with everything for baby sleep, this is something new and different, and it is hard for them. But your baby is able to learn new things, and tricks to make things easier for you and your baby is to have them in a predictable nap routine to start with, making sure that the room environment is perfect. There's dark, there may be some white noise playing for all your naps, and also you can, if you feel comfortable, as I said before, give them a cuddly so that they've got something to do with their hands. We have a fantastic sleep article, I'll link right up here, which has got both of those methods that I talked through so that you can have a look at them later if you need. As always, if you liked this video, please give us a huge thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so that you get notified of videos just like this one.